This hour brought to you by GCNLife.com. Live younger, look younger, feel younger at GCNLife.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. You make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute, you're up $500,000 in soybeans, and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday. Believe it or not, December 1st. Boy, time flies. And all the anxious traders out there looking first for the turkey shoot, turkey rally. I got some relief. And, of course, the Santa Claus rally is the big one everybody's sort of holding their breath for. So we'll see if that unfolds. I'm going to remind you what Cicero said back in 55 BC. The budget should be balanced. The treasury should be refilled. Public debt should be reduced. The arrogance of officialdom should be tempered and controlled. And the assistance to foreign land should be curtailed, lest Rome become bankrupt. People must again learn to work instead of living on public assistance. 2,000 years, nothing much has changed there, folks. Meanwhile, many of you may remember me from the old Louis Rukeyser Wall Street Week TV program that started back in the early 70s and carried to the late 90s. I was an elf for about 10 years on that show. If not, maybe perhaps you saw me on PBS's Nightly Business Report with my late good friend Paul Kangas. VRTrader.com is my website. And Timer Digest magazine has ranked me over the years in the top 10 group. In fact, from 2007 to 17, I think I was the number one intermediate market timer on Timer Digest magazine. So we try to get a handle on the markets here. And right now, as you can see, there's a lot of volatility here. This is somewhat concerned that the markets may have peaked out after a multi-year run to the upside. We had a little bit of cooperation on the part of the Federal Reserve, as you know, a few days ago, and suddenly they come out and indicate that perhaps interest rates won't be going up so fast. We do every week, we try to get a whole list of interesting and provocative guests for you on the show. Among them is my good friend Harry Boxer from the TechTrader.com, who's kind enough again to join us on this Saturday morning. Good morning, Harry.
What's up, dude?
Okay. Well, the market had a big move this week. We saw about a 600-point advance one day, and I guess that's what's up. The question is it going to continue, Harry? What do you think?
I'm very impressed with this market because we've had a dip yesterday morning and again this morning, and each time we've come back. The markets right now, as we speak on Friday midday, are in bull wedges type formations in rising channels. And when you get a explosive move, 600 some odd points with decent technicals, then the market follows through with a continuing rising channel. It's a very good sign that we may have had an important low, I think. We had an opportunity to really smack this market. But the perfect storm arose, meaning the Fed spoke and started talking about a neutral stance. And now the trade talks potentially underway, and Trump's already tweeted today that he's speaking with President Xi, and we'll talk to him later, but he's optimistic about the meeting and dinner tonight. Earlier tweet said that he was optimistic about, he's an optimistic guy, and he knows how to do deals. So if we can come up with anything, even if it's just some kind of like standoff on raising tariffs as opposed to altogether, that would be a start. And I think the market likes what they're hearing and seeing, and I think the sell-off was so steep, in the 12-15% range, that may have been enough to start another leg up. We'll see. But I still am of the opinion next year may not be good. We'll see. This is the year-end Santa Claus rally at the very least, and if it spills over into January, we'll have to just see how the technical action. Look, I think what most people do is they have preconceived thoughts about what may be. I say trade what you see, not what you think. So we have a lot of trades. For example, today the Dow's flat, the S&P flat picture, but stocks like Workday up 18, BMW's up 3-4 points. We have Splunk up 7, and Ambarella's up 6, and we got some good trades today. And I think, again, trade what you see, not what you think, and every day there's trades coming up in my room that people can make money on.
I want to remind our listeners that we're recording this on Friday, so the market quotes we're talking about are from yesterday. Harry, what about gold? Looks like it's still trying to bottom here a little bit now.
Yeah, I don't like gold. I'm tired of this. I've watched it, quite frankly. It goes up, it goes down. It's going to break out. It goes nowhere. I mean, look at the pattern on JNUG, for example, the triple gold ETF for junior gold miners. It's at near the all-time lows. All-time lows. It's even lower than it was in 2016. If you can tell me that looks bullish, I can't. Even if you look at the GDX or any of these gold stocks, GLD was better because it mirrors the price of gold. But until I see the GLD over 117.55.60, that's 2 more points. It's not even close to breaking out. So individually, a lot of certain stocks look good. If you're asking me which gold stocks I like the most, I like AU, which has a terrific reversal type pattern, and I like ABX, Barrick, that also reversed and has got a consolidation here, but I need them to extend. Right now, those two are my favorite junior gold miners, and then I love Kirkland, KL. That stock has got the best chart of any gold stock, period, in Wall Street. If you take a look at it, in the last year and a half, it's gone from 5 to 25. It's selling in here and consolidating around 20 3/4. It has a fantastic long-term chart, and so those are my 3 favorite gold stocks. But do I like the gold market here? Not necessarily. There's better plays right now. That's
right. I understand. I brought it up because of those names and figured maybe the shares are leading the way in the metal, so maybe not. Maybe they're just acting independently. Let's jump to the cannabis stocks. They topped out, and they still look awfully toppy, but at the same time, they're getting cheap. So you think there's another leg down, or we're holding support? CTC is holding trend lines and lateral price support, but it's right on it, and it could break. If the CTC gets under 30, we're going to see 25, and we may even see 18 to 20. But, and I'm not happy with what I'm seeing technically, other than the fact that for a week and a half now it's held support. That could be a good sign. It also looks like a potential falling wedge to support. So over that, but again, I don't like picking bottoms because, catch a falling knife, you get cut. The bottom line is I need to see reversal with Vine before I get excited about any of these marijuana stocks. I follow that one closely. I follow HCB closely, but that one looks even worse than CGC. Look at the underlying technicals in these stocks. They don't look good. Okay. So thank you for helping us on this Saturday morning, Harry. Anything particular you want to bring up? We have about 30 seconds. Any hot stocks today?
Well, I gave you the names already. Some of the big names like Ambarella, Workday, those kind of stocks, Splunk, are having very good days. They're up anywhere between 6 and 15% on a daily basis, but all of them are looking much better. And here's the other thing I want to just point out. If this wasn't an important bottom, then you wouldn't see as many stocks gapping and running back up to the declining top lines and back up to lateral price resistance. So we're seeing some major breakouts here. I'm not sure if they'll start covering. I think it might be more than that, but we're going to have to see if it's a follow-through.
Harry, I want to thank you so much for joining us. If you want more a free trial, you go to thetechtrader.com. 2-week free trial still offered, right, Harry?
And yes, and no credit card necessary. Just sign up and join us for 2 weeks. You'll be surprised what you see.
It's great service. Thank you. Harry Boxer from thetechtrader.com. And folks, don't touch your dial. We're going to be back after the break with our good friend Don Violo, and maybe we'll be able to reach our good friend Henry Weingarten as well on the Saturday morning, December 1st. Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovitz. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
sound of a house being trashed while a gang of thieves ransack the place. And what they don't steal will be destroyed.
This year, resolve not to be the next victim of a break-in. Go to faketv.com and discover a device that creates the illusion someone inside is watching TV, even when you're miles away. Security is a mindset, and Fake TV should be part of your security solution. Be vigilant, but not fearful. faketv.com.
Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Marijuana has unleashed a green gold rush across our nation. It's creating $10.8 billion in new wealth a year. And every day, it's transforming more and more Americans into millionaires. Former Speaker of the House John Boehner reveals how you could become one of them. Join him online for the American Cannabis Summit. Attendance is 100% free, but space is limited. Join online at www.acs2018.com. John Boehner and an esteemed panel will reveal which cannabis stocks are primed to deliver life-changing windfalls. Plus, they will show you how to become a cannabis angel investor, backing the hottest startups before they potentially become worth billions of dollars.
To join the American Cannabis Summit, visit acs2018.com or text JOIN to 76280. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Text JOIN to 76280. Text JOIN to 76280 now.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally at Heart and Body Extract? We've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Homemakers. Groceries by mail ships free. Try our amazing bacon. It stores in your pantry. No refrigeration required. Our value-added packaging provides a 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Always priced less than grocery for your everyday use. Savory and delicious. Order today at ReadyToEatBacon.com. ReadyToEatBacon.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you can move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry MyPillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose.
And here's Mike's best offer ever. MyPillow is now offering 50% off their 4-pack special plus free shipping. Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's 50% off plus free shipping. Don't delay. Order now.
Hi, I'm Dan Pilla. I started fighting the IRS over 40 years ago when they tried to seize my mother's house. I sued the IRS and won. I beat the IRS then, and I've been beating them ever since. I wrote the book on tax debt settlement, and I've helped thousands of people deal with tax problems they thought might never be solved. I can help you too. If you owe taxes you can't pay, don't wait another day. There's no such thing as a hopeless tax case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX or go to my website, danpilla.com. That's danpilla.com, danpilla.com.
Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovitz, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovitz.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, December 1st, and our good friend Henry Weingarten is with us from afund.com. I have to say that Henry really called this. He was telling us to be buyers here into any weakness in November, that we were going to get a big spike to the upside, and sure enough, the Fed accommodated us this past week with that comment regarding the possibility of interest rates not going up so far so fast, and with that 600-point up day. So congratulations, Henry. You called the rally.
Well, let's say we just looked at Trump's horoscope and knew the answer. So, which leads to the big question over this weekend is what happens with China. And clearly we're still on the long side, although we take profits periodically, because if you don't, they just go away. And the real question is going to be, there are two things happening. Now, one, of course, is the trade war victory, and whether it's Monday or not is an issue. But we think they'll make nice. And then whether the Fed's going to raise in December, which we didn't think initially in the beginning of the year, or we'll do it in December and not January. Clearly, if they did both, the market would tank, and it won't happen. It would, go down about 5-6% if they did December and January. But there's a chance they'll skip January, or they will skip December. The smarter thing would be to skip December, which would be a really big rally. So we'd like to see the targets we initially had, which was 2950 in the S&P, at which point we sort of protect, because the markets are likely to be up in January, but with a new Democratic Congress and a lot of snarling going on for several months, we'll sort of stay away from the markets. Instead of selling May, it'll be sell maybe January, February, or December, and go away for a while, and then come back the second half of the year. But there are exceptions. For example, healthcare. So one of the things that a lot of people like today are healthcare, and why is that? Regardless of what happens next year, any company that basically gives you a better outcome or lowers costs is going to make money. Doesn't matter if the market's up 10% or down 10%. So we have to be very selective. Stock picking is going to do well. If you're not a good stock picker, you should be long short, and long short could be against an index, because it's going to be a much trickier year next year. Cash is going to become important, or more important than it is now, but that will take probably 2 more Fed increases before that has significance.
Do you have healthcare names in particular, stocks that you're looking at?
It depends. Well, I'm biased. We have companies that present for us, so I don't like to put them out. But, it could be as big as Johnson & Johnson and as little as, Celsi, for example, which was one of our favorites last year and doubled. Probably will go up another 50 to 100%.
What's the symbol on that one? What's the symbol?
Oh, God. CVM, for example.
Okay.
That went up and down a bit. That's one that should double up again, I think, this year. But there are plenty of them. I mean, again, we like the small stuff where we'll take 5 of them, and 3 of them will succeed, and 1 will blow up, and 1 will go nowhere. So, I mean, that's good. But in any case, the sector, you can also play the healthcare sector index. But it's a little, it depends if you want to do it now or not. I mean, there's still risk till Monday morning in the markets, but it depends how much risk you want to take. But I think that area is pretty safe, is relatively safe. Okay. And gold's, moving forward, everyone has sort of, either a 1350 or 1400 target for the next year or 2. Depends on whether it's next year or 2. Oil is too cheap. I mean, it was put down very nicely, so just in case things don't go well, the people will be insulated. But it's going to go back up to the 60 level. Putin wants it there, and, you don't want to fight Putin. So basically, you're going to see in the next couple of months that it goes back to 60. We suggested to buy at 50. We reversed our shorts, of course, earlier at 55. If it gets to 48, we'll buy again. If it gets to 46, we'll walk away in tears.
Asking about gold again. Not traditionally, but often we see a tax law selling in the month of December in gold, and then it seems to take off. Not every year, but occasionally. Does that look like a possibility here, or they've already bottomed?
I think it's certainly bottomed. I mean, the fact is playing around 1225. But there's a lot of resistance, 1240 to 1260. If it breaks out of there, it will go to 1300 in very fast order. Mm-hmm. A lot's going to depend on the Chinese. It's going to depend on a bunch of things, and to me, that's sort of gambling. If you want to take a 2-year horizon, it's going to go up. It's not going to go as much up as, say, copper will. But it's certainly going to be worth more than money in the bank over the next 2 years. But if you're looking for trade, I would be still specific about companies. And we haven't talked to royalty companies because I think they're the safest way to play it. But
if you like copper, what about Freeport? Name like that. Does that make sense?
Well, I don't like Freeport only because the manager. We play smaller ones than that, but we would like, for example, something like a Trilogy, which was entered for us. It doubled last year. We expect it to double again. But that's a sort of not in production, so you're playing futures there. You have to remember, I like the high-risk parts of portfolios. That's futures and small caps. We can advise other things, but generally speaking, most of the big mining companies aren't that well run. There are mid caps that are well run, but the real majors, I don't. Okay. They're better than they were a few years ago, mind you, but they're still not using their cash as effectively as they should.
And we have about 60 seconds. Bitcoin's been coming down as you predicted.
Right. We broke through the 5,000, which was the major call. Now, the point is this. You're in between 38 and 42 of the dual pivots. It's been fighting that 42 level. 38 is at the point at which miners start to lose money. But we think certainly 1,000 before 10,000 without a question, 2,000 before 8,000 without a question. The question is 3,000 before 5,000, and that's a coin course. We still say 3,000 before it, but we're not as strong as we are about the other two calls.
Okay, great. Henry, it's always great having you on the show. Great coverage, and again, congratulations on the great market call. And
you got to congratulate Trump and his horoscope, and maybe his astrologer too. I mean, look at the nice things he did on Friday, even for putting the signing with Canada and Mexico. Brilliant timing to put pressure on a bunch of people, including Putin and Xi. That's brilliant negotiations, I think.
But you're also saying the next 6 months might be a little choppy, perhaps as hard as
we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit. Yeah, for him, it's going to be a little bit more choppy, but we're still not out of 2019, so we've got more upside.
All right, let's see what happens Monday. Should be interesting next week. So
absolutely,
up or down.
We won't be bored.
Well, have a great weekend. We're talking to Henry Weingarten. If you want more information, go to afund.com. And perhaps you may want to attend one or more of his conferences, which he holds periodically at the Princeton Club in New York. Thank you, Henry. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. All the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend. Meanwhile, we're going to try to get Don Violo on the phone with us here after the break and get the view from Canada. And, of course, our good friend Sinclair No will hopefully join us. Last week he took a bit of a break, and perhaps tied to Thanksgiving. Everyone needs a break. And we'll jump back on the Eat the Banker segment with Sinclair. Don't touch your dial. Thanks for listening to Wall Street Raw.
Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at WallStreetRaw.com. At WallStreetRaw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to WallStreetRaw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at WallStreetRaw.com. That's WallStreetRaw.com.
Have you checked your Google search results lately? Search results are usually the first impression that people form of you or your business, so make sure that they create a positive impression with ReputationDefender.com. What the Internet says about you can have a big impact on your life and your livelihood, even if it's not true. Fortunately, you can now control how you look online and in online search results with ReputationDefender.com. Call 800-831-0771 now. That's 800-831-0771 for your free Reputation Reputation Analysis. If you have negative material from an ex-employee, upset patient, or former client, newspaper article, legal issue, social media, or other source showing up in your search results, you can combat it with ReputationDefender.com. Our dedicated experts in patented technology can help make your online search results look their best. Call 800-831-0771 to learn more. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
If you've been in business more than 20 minutes, you've probably printed your logo on all kinds of promotional products. We all know logos work because they're on everything from the top of skyscrapers to the bottom of shoes. Ever wondered why or how to best use your logo to grow your business? Let us show you today for free. We're 4imprint, promotional product experts at your service. We're giving away the latest issue of Amplify, the digital magazine that reveals promotional product success stories absolutely free to everyone who texts UP77 to 88988. At 4imprint, we make your logo look perfect on thousands of promotional items. With our 100% guarantee, it'll be right the first time, on time, every time. Your free e-magazine will reveal invaluable insights that can attract new customers, build your brand, and grow your business. Get the latest issue of Amplify absolutely free by texting UP77 to 88988. That's UP77 to 88988.
Jake was in big trouble with the IRS. He owed how much?
$92,000.
Ouch. The IRS left no room for Jake to breathe.
They put a lien on my house, took all the money out of my bank account, took money out of my paychecks. So it was a nightmare.
He needed help fast.
I figured that all these companies were the same until I called Federal Tax Management. You could just tell they knew what they were talking about. Right then and there, I felt like I had some hope.
Stop the liens, levies, and garnishments fast and qualify for one of several special IRS programs that could reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. So, how'd it go for Jake?
They did what they said they would do. They came through for me. I ended up saving an unbelievable amount. I was so jazzed. I was extremely happy.
If you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes, take Jake's advice.
Give Federal Tax Management a phone call. If they help me, they can help anybody.
Call the Federal Tax Management Hotline now. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to WallStreetRawRadio.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on a Saturday, December 1st. The year has really gone fast, and we've certainly seen some incredible volatility this year. It started off with a bang and big sell-off into February, nice advance pretty much during the course of the year, and then we ran into a stumbling block in October. And big rally, as you know, this past week on the Fed indication that rates may not be going up as far and fast as we originally thought. But help clarify all that is our good friend Don Violo from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. Good morning, Don. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Okay, well, you're right on the button there. U.S. and Canadian markets traditionally hit a seasonal low between mid-October and the end of October, and that's sure enough, that's what happened.
Yeah, we hit them on October the 29th. In the case of the S&P, the low was 2604. The Dow was 24,100. And the TSE composite was 14,340. Now, subsequent to that, of course, we did have that dip coming into November, but nice little recovery again last week. Since the lows on October the 29th, we've seen the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 4.9% and the S&P 500 up 5.3%. Not too bad.
Not too shabby. Do you think that maybe the bulls exhausted themselves a little bit on that rally, or do you think? Well, obviously we're going to be waiting on the results this weekend. What happens with Trump in Argentina with President Xi, but a lot of energy expended on that rally.
Yeah, something to watch very closely with this China-U.S. negotiations. I'm watching what's happening with the Shanghai Index, and I guess one of the easy ways of watching is through iShares for China. The symbol is FXI, and it's been forming a nice little trading range during the last little while with some positive momentum behind it. So early encouragement, but watch the XFI very closely. It'll give you an indication by early next week on what direction all this China-U.S. thing is going to go one way or the other.
Right, and we know since 1929 we're still in the strongest period for U.S. equities, particularly with regard to a midterm U.S. election.
It's fascinating. Typically, the quarter after a midterm election and the next 2 quarters after that, there was the first quarter next year and the second quarter next year, these are the strongest periods of time for U.S. equity markets. In fact, going back to 1929, on average, the return on investment during these 3 quarters in a row is 16.4%. So we're into that period of very strong markets. Looks like it's going to happen again.
And we had some good short-term technical action last week, too.
Yeah, lots of the major equity indices, the Dow, the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq, all moved above their 20-day moving average, which is the early sign of a nice recovery. Things like MACD, RSI, and Stochastics also turned higher, indicating that we're into the typical year-end rally we normally see.
Let's talk about some tax-related transactions, how they tend to impact equity markets this time of year. People have to be planning their tax returns.
Yeah, this is certainly the case in the case of Canadian market, where the TSE Composite's down over 6% in the year. And there are certain sectors which have been hit very badly, particularly the gold and the energy sectors. What happens at this time of year, people say, okay, let's get rid of my tax loss, tax losing situations, and I can apply them against gains that I've had in the previous years. So typically at this time of year, these sectors, particularly this year with gold and energy, will likely be under some technical pressure. Now, that's the bad news. The good news is that both of these sectors, gold and energy, have a tendency to bottom right around December the 15th. And given that this year they're particularly oversold, we could be set up for a really good move. Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, I know in previous years, not all the time, you get that sell-off in gold in December, and it just takes off after that. So that's really interesting. What about crude oil, Don? We had a big sell-off. Does it look like it's bottoming here to you, or no?
It's fascinating because historically crude oil also has a history of bottoming right around the middle of December. Very similar to what we have with the gold sector. So stay tuned for that. I don't think we've seen enough technical evidence to say we've hit the low so far. We still have lots of technical action on the downside with crude oil. Ironically, in the case of natural gas, it's just the opposite. Natural gas prices over the last 2 months are up 50%. Wow. Most energy companies are producing both oil and gas, with oil being the prominent one, and therefore the energy stocks on both sides of the border have not been doing too well during the last little while.
Talking about corrections in some stocks, one of my favorite groups, the cannabis stocks, peaked out here following the legalization in mid-October in Canada. What's your thoughts there? We've been in a bit of a downtrend for a while. Look like they're bottoming, or we're going to need some earnings to come in to support these prices?
Yeah, I don't have any information on the seasonality because most of these stocks haven't been around long enough to do seasonality studies. On the technical front, they do seem to be trying to form a trading range, a very volatile trading range, but it does seem to be a trading range for now.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the traditional Santa Claus rally, Don. Everybody's holding their breath for that, I hope.
Yeah, we're very rapidly approaching that time. Now, historically, the Santa Claus rally runs from December the 15th to the first week in January. This year it'll be December 15th to January the 4th. Now, in the case of the S&P 500 index, we've seen during the last 28 periods that the S&P 500 has gone up 21 times, average gain of 1.6% per period. In the case of the TSE Composite, it's even better. During the last 28 periods, the TSE Composite has gone up 24 times with an average gain of 2.4%. Now, this year, there's a very good chance that Santa Claus is going to come once again and help our equity markets. A lot of it has to do with what's going on with the U.S. corporations. A lot of them have extra cash and starting to burn a hole in their pocket, and they're wanting to do something with that cash. Typically, they'll announce changes between now and the release of their first quarter earnings reports early next year. Look for buybacks, dividend increases, lots of good news.
Oh, so Santa's going to have some surprises for us. Besides the Federal Reserve, everybody's holding their breath whether the Fed's going to raise in December or not. If they chose not to, that would be a big boost to Santa.
Yeah, it's pretty well in the cards that the Fed is going to increase the Fed fund rate by 25 basis points on December the 19th. That's pretty well baked into the cake already, and I think we had some pretty good signs of that when we heard from Federal Reserve Chairman Powell just last week, indicating that, we're probably going to do something in December, but maybe we may not be as aggressive going forward.
And if they don't raise in January, all the better as well.
That'll set up for a very good move on the upside for equity markets.
Well, Don, I want to thank you so much for taking so much time with us on this Saturday morning. Don Villalobos from EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. We really appreciate all that great input. And have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next Saturday. Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, EquityClock.com and TimingTheMarket.ca. You got to go there, folks. Great information on terms of market cycles. Hope to have Sinclair No join us right after the break, so don't touch your dial.
You are listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovitz. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovitz, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years from My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
In these uncertain times, it makes sense to have a sustainable backup method to cook food and boil water. If your current plan includes using a fuel-burning stove or cooking over an open fire, then there's a much better way. The Minuteman Rocket Stove is a biomass-burning cooking stove that only requires small quantities of sticks and twigs for fuel. The Minuteman Stove is easy to use, smokeless, portable, powerful, and sustainable. For the finest in survival cooking stoves and fire starters made right here in the USA, go to MinutemanStove.com. That's MinutemanStove.com.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Here is what one satisfied customer had to say about Heart and Body Extract regarding his angina pain.
I haven't had an angina pain since I've been on it. The Heart Body Extract is just so great. I thank God that I was led to this product that's doing so much for me and that can do so much for other people.
Call to order your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Now, there is Reveal. Beverly Hills celebrity dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman took nearly a decade to develop Reveal from natural botanicals to return to a full-body head of hair. Reveal for men and women with a 30-day money-back guarantee at GCNlife.com or toll-free 844-443-6637. 844-443-6637. Reveal at GCNlife.com.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovich. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, December 1st. And again, I'm repeating myself. Boy, time has really flown here. It's already December. Hope all of you had a great Thanksgiving holiday weekend last weekend. And our good friend Sinclair No took a bit of a break, but we're happy to have him back. Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the incomparable blog, EatTheBankers.com. How you doing, Sinclair?
Pretty good. I think I'm over the pie.
I'm not. There's 2 of them sitting in my refrigerator, and I just can't stop going over and noshing on them.
Oh, man.
I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble.
You and the rest of the country.
Yeah, put a little whipped cream on it and forget it. That's definitely a downer for me. Anyway, it's that special time again.
It's time for another edition of Banks Behaving Badly.
Let's talk, Sinclair, about Deutsche Bank. We had a little bit of a raid the last couple days.
Oh, yeah. Police and prosecutors raided Deutsche Bank's offices in Germany, basically looking for evidence of money laundering. And this goes back a ways, a couple of years back to when the Panama Papers were released. And it also goes back to a Deutsche Bank data leak from 2016. Basically, what they suspect is that Deutsche Bank aided about 900 customers in setting up offshore companies in tax havens. And best guess is that they laundered about $350 million. Now, in August, Deutsche Bank uncovered some shortcomings. They were screening through everything and trying to determine if they had identified their clients and the source of the monies and so forth. They ran across some shortcomings, and that led to this mess that they're in now. But it's not the first time. Last year, 2017, the bank was fined $700 million for allowing money laundering. So basically, You could not put out a better sign in front of Deutsche Bank's offices than money launderers. Apparently, folks who are in the business of laundering money, they know. Go to Deutsche Bank. That's the place.
That's the place.
They'll do it.
No shortage of stories in our Banks Behaving Badly segment, that's for sure.
And I tell you where this one really gets interesting is this followed on the heels of some issues dealing with the Russians in the Russia investigation. And if anybody's going to launder money for Russian oligarchs out of European banks, non-Russian European banks anyway, I would say it would have to be Deutsche Bank. I think it's a little bit more than a coincidence, in other words.
Okay. Well, let's jump to our favorite subject, the Federal Reserve, Sinclair. Jerome Powell came out with a surprise announcement this week, and the market just exploded.
Markets were looking for some good news from the Federal Reserve. Markets were looking for the Federal Reserve to say something along the lines of, we're not just going to raise rates quarter percentage point, without end. We're actually going to look at data and see if we need to keep raising rates. We may keep raising rates, maybe not. But we're going to look at the data and not on a preset mission now, just to raise rates for the sake of raising rates. That was a little bit different. We were hoping for some dovish comments from Fed Chair Powell. We got reasonably dovish comments from him. Also from Federal Reserve Vice Chair Richard Clarida. He delivered a speech on Tuesday. Powell's speech was on Wednesday. And the markets generally liked it. Generally. Not that it was a runaway day, except for the one day. We had the one day which was a runaway day to the upside. But other than that, the market didn't really seem to respond too much to it. Basically, Powell said we're going to look at the data. We'll see. And we'll see where the natural rate is.
And now the hope is that they don't raise in January, right?
I don't think they will. I think we're going to get one more rate hike, I should say, in December at the upcoming meeting. They've already telegraphed that, and there's nothing to indicate that they're going to change that around unless something happens between now and then over the next couple of weeks here. Then I think they sit back and wait a little bit, and I don't think we're going to see anything before March. That would be my estimate. But we'll see. It could be that they do the December rate increase and then they just sit back and wait. Take 6 months to figure it out. Just to see how it's working through the economy. There's a lag time on these rate hikes.
Well, the big story this weekend, and we are live here Saturday morning, and we don't have the answer yet, is the big meeting that everybody's been anticipating between President Trump and President Xi Jinping regarding tariffs. What's your thoughts, Sinclair?
My thought is that this should make a good photo op, but I doubt that we're going to get anything resolved. I could be wrong on that. I would hope that I am, because there needs to be something resolved with this trade war. It's not doing any particular good that I can see for China or the United States at this point. Yeah, there are problems with China in trade. There are things that need to be corrected. Doesn't seem as if this trade war has done much to correct those problems of trade that we have with China. Instead, it's just damaging a lot of different people in a lot of different areas. So I think most people would like to see this resolved. Question is, will it be resolved? And I don't think the G20 summit's going to do it.
Well, the market's going to be awfully disappointed Monday morning. That's for sure. Everybody's holding their breath for this one.
Or they'll be massively delighted. I'm sure that whatever happens down in Argentina, they're going to try to paint it as a big success, a win for trade policy. Nobody's going to say, well, we went there, nothing happened. It was a shame. We just wasted a weekend. That's not what they're going to present. They're going to say, oh, yeah, we had some tremendous talks. We made tremendous advances. Now we'll work through some of the details. Well, the devil is in the details, and particularly when it comes to trade. And there's a lot of details when it comes to trade. And I don't think we're going to end up with anything substantive in any way, shape, or form out of this meeting.
There's been a lot of discussion regarding the global warming situation in your reports this week, Sinclair. National Climate Assessment Reports talking about what's been going on, and maybe you hinted a little bit in your commentary that some of the report information had been buried. Tell me a little bit what's going on there.
This report was supposed to come out in December. Instead, it came out last Friday evening, which was, right after Thanksgiving, that Friday between Thanksgiving and the weekend, when nobody was particularly paying any attention to this. And it's a bad report. It basically says that by 2050, we're going to have some serious, serious climate problems, looking at temperatures climbing much higher than we previously thought. And the results are going to be more severe than previously anticipated. And then the question is, what are we doing about it? There is going to be probably in the neighborhood, by 2040, probably in the neighborhood of $50 trillion that will need to be spent on climate change. It's a massive marketplace that's about to open up. And the United States is not particularly well-suited or well-positioned to take advantage of this massive growth in business that we're about to see. It's going to happen, but we're going to get passed along. That's part of the fear that I have on this.
Sinclair, I want to thank you so much for joining us. We're talking to Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the incomparable blog, EatTheBankers.com. Have a great weekend, Sinclair, and thank you for all that information.
Thank you, Mark.
Folks, that's Sinclair No. And as we do each week, we close our show with what our old friend Ed Hart used to say way back in the 1980s on the old Financial News Network. What he says, as we say, we will know in the fullness of time. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Elf, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week Elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Blockit Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockitPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockitPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockitPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Anytime, any place, anywhere. Radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.